What's up, folks? The Sportsbook Killer, UFC St. Louis this Saturday, May 11th. Do not miss it. We're going to start the card off. First of all, what I want to say is a lot of these fights on this card are going to be very close. So be very careful. Proceed with caution on this fight card. A lot of these fights are going to come down to what the judges see. And we all know how UFC judges can be. So just proceed with caution. That's all I'm telling you. All I'm going to give you is what I think is more likely to happen. And here we go. We're going to start off with the women's flyweight division. We got J.J. Aldrich going up against Veronica Hardy. That's going to be a very interesting fight, very good fight. I don't see an angle, but I'll give you guys the ballistic. J.J. Aldrich, she trains with Team Elevation. She has good boxing, rather boring boxing, but it's good boxing. She's a third-degree Taekwondo black belt and a Jiu-Jitsu brown belt. She has a good ground game and very good takedown defense. Veronica Hardy, she has a phenomenal ground game with really good submissions. She's a Taekwondo black belt, karate brown belt, and a jiu-jitsu black belt. Her ground game is really good. She can snatch up a submission pretty quick. I like her game. She's a versatile striker. She throws kicks, punches, very fast switch kicks too. She got some skills. I'll give her that. That's Dan Hardy's wife, so he's gonna have her ready. I just don't see an angle here. J.J. Aldrich could make it boring and defend all the takedowns and then just outbox Hardy just enough to win. And then Hardy could somehow find a way to get the fight to the ground and get a rear naked choke or something like that. So I can't pick a winner here. I just wanted to give you guys the info so y'all can make your own decision. But I am going to take a bet that the fight makes it to the second round with DraftKings. I'll make that prop bet that the fight makes it to the second round. And that's about all I can do with this fight. Next fight, we got the welterweights. Jared Gooden going up against Kevin Jousset. I like Kevin Jousset in this one. I'm not too crazy about him because Jared Gooden does have some punching power and he has a halfway decent ground game, but his cardio is rather weak. So Jared Gooden, I can't see getting KO'd by Jousset because Jared Gooden has a really strong chin. So I'm going to lean Kevin Jousset in this one. Kevin Jousset is a second-degree judo black belt. He trains at City Kickboxing with some total animals. They produce some really good kickboxers. He's a jiu-jitsu purple belt, and he has a strong chin as well. So in this fight, I'm going to lean Kevin Jousset, and I'm going to take the prop bet that the fight starts the second round, and I'll throw a little something on the prop bet that the fight starts the third round. Next fight, we got Charles Johnson going up against Jake Hadley. This is the men's flyweight division. Charles Johnson, he's a versatile striker. He throws punches and kicks. He has good boxing, very weak takedowns, but he has really good takedown defense. He's halfway decent on the ground, but nothing to write home about. Jake Hadley is a jiu-jitsu purple belt, southpaw fighter. Has a very good ground game, as a matter of fact. And I like his leg kicks. He throws his punches really fast. He's a fast striker with good boxing. I tell you what, I'm going to lean Jake Hadley because I hate betting Charles Johnson. It seems like every time I take Charles Johnson and I think he can outbox a guy, outstrike a guy, he always finds a way to lose the fight. So I'm going to go with Jake Hadley on this one. Not too heavy, but I am going to take Jake Hadley, and I'm going to be taking the over 1.5 round prop, and I'll throw a little something on the over 2.5 round prop as well. Next fight, we got Billy Goff going up against Trey Waters. This is going to be an interesting fight. Billy Goff he's a jiu-jitsu purple belt. He has a very strong chin, and he is a hard puncher. If he lands, he can do damage. Trey Waters has really good boxing and fast hands, very strong jab. He has all the makings of a fighter that I like to bet on. So I'm going to be taking Trey Waters because, for one, he's 6'5". Billy Goff's 5'10". So Trey Waters is going to look like a giant in there. I like his hand speed, and I love that nice jab that he got. So I'm going to be riding with Trey Waters on this one to win. And I'm going to take the over 1.5 round prop, and I'm going to take the over 2.5 round prop. If Billy Goff doesn't score a KO, I can see this fight going the distance relatively easy. Next fight, we got Tabitha Ricci. This is a women's strawweight division. We got Tabitha Ricci and Tisha Pennington, formerly Tisha Torres. This is going to be a very interesting fight. They're both about the same height. They're both 5'1". Let me give you the ballistics on Tabitha Ricci. She's a judo black belt. She's a jiu-jitsu black belt. Her boxing's not very strong, though. Her boxing's rather weak. She has really good cardio, though. And she has very weak takedowns. That's the problem. She has weak takedowns. Tisha Pennington, she's a Taekwondo black belt and a jiu-jitsu blue belt. But she has pretty solid stand-up. So if I'm going to bet, I would probably take the upset and take Tisha Pennington. And I'm pretty sure this fight is more than likely probably going to come down to a close decision. So, I mean, you just got to, if you want to take her, you got to bet on her and take your chances, But I'm going to lean Tisha Pennington. I won't go too heavy on her because these judges, when it comes down to a decision, especially when women are fighting, anything can happen. I mean, that's just the way it goes. And this fight, I think, is going to be relatively close. So I'm going to take the over 1.5 round prop and the over 2.5 round prop. And I may even add to my parlays that the fight goes the distance. Next fight, we got the men's lightweight division. Terrence McKinney going up against Esteban Ribovic. This is going to be interesting. Ribovic is good, but his takedown defense is rather weak. I'm going to be riding with Terrence McKinney. Terrence McKinney doesn't have the best cardio. Terrence McKinney seems to upset me quite often in his fights when I bet on him. But I'm going to take a chance and go with Terrence McKinney with this one. I won't go too heavy, but he is a plus 160 underdog, meaning you get 1.6 to 1 odds on your money. McKinney is a jiu-jitsu purple belt. He has very good wrestling, and he has a pretty solid ground game. And he has good, solid takedowns. The problem with him is if he doesn't take you down and submit you or knock you out in the first round or early in the second round, he usually gasses and finds a way to quit and lose the fight. So I'm going to go with McKinney with caution. Okay, I think he can definitely beat Ribovic, but the question is going to be, can he do it early? Because if he can't, more than likely Ribovic will probably stop him. So I'm just going to take the prop bet with this that the fight starts the second round. That's it. Terrence McKinney for the upset, and the fight starts the second round. Next fight, we got the lightweights again, men's division. We got Chase Hooper going to be battling Vyacheslav Borshev. Interesting fight. This is grappler versus kickboxer. We got Chase Hooper, this guy is really good on the ground. Skinny, lanky, tall, 6'1", tall for the division. Jiu-jitsu black belt. He has a phenomenal ground game. His takedowns are so weak, though. He has no way of really guaranteeing himself getting the fight to the ground. He's dominant on the ground, but him getting it to the ground is the problem. Borshev, former world kickboxing champ, trains at Team Alpha Male. Very versatile striker. He has an array of attacks. He has really good leg kicks, and he is a hard puncher. I'm going to ride with Borshev on this one. Yeah, I'm going to go with Vyacheslav Borshev to win. And he's still not one of my stronger picks, but I will take him over Chase Hooper because if Hooper can't get the takedowns, it's just going to be piece up city. He's just going to get busted up by Borshev. And Hooper loves to walk in with that chin up. Once he starts to fatigue and he starts to try and strike, he will walk in with his chin way up in the air. And Borshev, being the champion kickboxer that he is, will more than likely find that chin and put Chase Hooper to sleep. So either way I'm looking at, if Hooper wins, it'll be a submission. So I'm going to take the under 2.5 rounds. Either Chase Hooper's going to submit Borshev or Borshev is more than likely going to knock out Chase Hooper. There is a chance that it may go to a decision. Wouldn't totally surprise me, but I'm going to think that it's going to be a finish in this fight. So I'm going to ride with Borshev to win this. Next fight. Heavyweights. This is a very interesting fight. Everybody's going to be waiting on pins and needles to see how this fight turns out. We got Waldo Cortez Acosta going up against Robelis Despain. Robelis Despain is just annihilating everybody who steps in the cage with him. Everybody. This guy is 6'7". He has an 86-inch wingspan. Taekwondo, 4th degree black belt. Taekwondo, former Olympic bronze medalist. KO power for days. And all of his fights have ended in first round KOs. This guy doesn't waste any time. He gets in there and just bam, night night. So this is going to be interesting because Cortez Acosta is a good boxer. He is a hard puncher as well, and he has good cardio. This is going to be very, very interesting because if Despain can just dispose of Acosta quickly, then the rest of the heavyweights in the division are going to have to be on notice. This is an interesting fight. I'm going to roll with Despain, and I'm going to take the under 2.5 round prop. I'm going to take Despain because we're going to find out whether or not he can KO a good seasoned heavyweight, somebody who's been in there with other UFC heavyweights and held their own. This is going to be interesting. If he can get in there and get a first round KO here, sky's the limit for him. If he doesn't, he'll more than likely, because we still don't know what his stamina's like. We don't know what Despain's stamina's like because he hasn't been out the first round yet. So I'm not going to go too crazy on him because I don't buy his stamina just yet. But I will bet on him in this fight, and I'll take the under 2.5 round prop. Next fight, we got the featherweights. This is going to be a good fight too. Alex Caceres going up against Sean Woodson. Alex Caceres has been he's 21-14. This guy's been in the UFC for a while. He's fought almost everybody. He's very hard to submit. He has a lot of different strikes, so his striking attack is very versatile. He has a great ground game, and he's quick. However, we got Mr. Sean Woodson. This guy's 6'2", has very good leg kicks, great boxing, very strong chin. And he has an array of strikes as well. He's a very versatile striker as well. I'm going to ride with Sean Woodson on this one. I'm going to take the over 1.5 round prop and the over 2.5 round prop because both of these guys can punch, but they're not really known for being KO fighters. So I can see this basically being a kickboxing match. I'm sure Caceres, if he's not winning the kickboxing, he'll shoot for a couple of takedowns. But Sean Woodson has pretty decent takedown defense. So I'm going to bet on Sean Woodson's jab and boxing being able to hold off Caceres and winning a decision. Next fight, we got the lightweights. This is going to be very interesting. I can't wait to see this one. Diego Ferreira going up against Matisse Rombeski. Interesting fight. Very interesting fight. Ferreira is a 3rd degree jiu-jitsu black belt. This guy is good on the ground, phenomenal on the ground, and he has some serious KO power. Rombeski is a 3-time jiu-jitsu champ, and he is a very good wrestler. He has very strong leg kicks. He's a hard puncher. He has good takedowns, great ground game. Now, here's the thing. I know there's going to be a lot of talking heads about this one, but I just want to say this. Diego Ferreira went up against Matthias Gamrot, and Gamrot could not dominate this man on the ground. He was outmoving Gamrot. He was getting back up. He was sweeping. He was doing things that most guys can't do against Gamrot. So I'm going to lean Rombeski, but I really don't think Rombeski should be a 3-1 favorite. But I'm going to lean Rombeski because he strikes me as the more aggressive puncher, the harder puncher. And I think that his boxing and his striking are going to be what wins him the fight. Those strong leg kicks that he likes to do. I'm hoping that he doesn't get caught in a submission trying to take down Ferreira because Ferreira is good on the ground. Very good on the ground. And he has good cardio. Well, both of these guys have pretty good cardio. But I'm going to go Rombeski to win. And I'm not even going to take an over-under on this one because I don't know how. I can't even predict how this one going to come out. So next fight, we got the light heavyweights. Alonzo Menifield going up against Carlos Ulberg. This is going to be a very interesting fight too. I can't wait for this one as well. Alonzo Menifield is tough, man. The guy, he's tough. Man, he's tough. But his boxing isn't that good, and he has really poor cardio. He has good takedown defense, though. Carlos Ulberg has KO power. He's a really good kickboxer, and he's starting to come into his own. He has all the makings of a fighter that I like to bet on. He has a good, strong jab, good boxing. His cardio is questionable as well. So both of these guys' cardio may come into question in this fight. I'm going to lean Carlos Ulberg, though. He's a 2-1 favorite. I'm going to take Ulberg to win. I don't want to take an over-under because I can see this being a battle back and forth, back and forth. I really don't want to touch the over-under in this one. I don't even want to take a chance to say the fight might make it to the second round because both of these guys have KO power, and I think it's going to come down to whoever lands first can put the other one out. So I'm going to ride with Carlos Ulberg on this one. Next fight, we got the welterweights, and this is an interesting fight as well. We got so many interesting fights on this card. We got Joaquin Buckley going up against Nursultan Ruzabov. Interesting. Joaquin Buckley stands at about 5'10", and Ruzabov is going to be Ruzabov is actually 6'5". So he's going to look like a giant in there with Buckley. Buckley is a hard striker. He can kick, he can punch. He has really good boxing. I love his head movement. He has great cardio. Good. He shoots a really good double leg takedown as well. Nursultan Ruzabov is a jiu-jitsu purple belt. He's from Uzbekistan, and like I told y'all, I don't like to ride against them guys where their country ends with a stand. I don't like to mess with them. Dagestan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan. I don't like fooling against them guys. So I'm gonna be riding with Ruzabov on this one. It's gonna be an upset pick actually because Joaquin Buckley is favored. But I'm going to bet that the fight makes it to the second round, and I'll throw a little something on the fight making it to the third round because both of these guys are pretty tough, but both of them are very explosive strikers. But I'm going to take Ruzabov to win. And like I said, I'm betting that the fight starts the second round and the fight starts the third round. Next fight, we got the main event. Derek the Black Beast Lewis is going up against Rodrigo Nascimento. These are the heavyweights. This is interesting. Whenever Derek Lewis gets in the cage, you already know you in for something because this guy, they don't call him the knockout king for nothing. If he lands, he can put his opponent out at any given time. He has ridiculous punching power. He's been in there with so many guys that have tried to take him down that I'm sure he'll be prepared for Nascimento's takedown attempts. Nascimento is a jiu-jitsu purple belt. He's a pressure fighter. He has very good takedowns, but not great takedowns. His takedowns tend to be somewhat, compared to the guys that Derek Lewis has fought, his takedowns won't be anywhere near as strong. So I think Derek Lewis should be able to stay upright for a nice sized chunk of this fight. And all I need him to do is land one punch because I'm going to ride with Derek Lewis. Not going to go too heavy on him, but I am going to ride with Derek Lewis, and I'm going to take the under 4.5 round prop, maybe the under 3.5 round prop, and the under 2.5 round prop. I'll probably take all three of those once I see what the money line is on them, because I got a funny feeling this fight may not last long. Now, I could lose those because if Nascimento is successful in taking down Derek Lewis or pinning him up against the cage, then we in for a long night, and it's probably going to be a long, boring night. But I'm going to put a little money on Derek Lewis's punching power and see if he can get it done. So I'm going to rock with Derek Lewis to win, and I'm going to take the unders I'm going to take under 4.5 rounds, under 3.5 rounds, and under 2.5 rounds in this one. Hey, 2 to 3 pick parlays, folks. Y'all can do them wild parlays, but just know that they can't go too heavy with them wild ones because it's hard to hit a 6 and 7 pick parlay. So I try to stay to 2 and 3 pick parlays. Every now and then I throw a crazy one together just for entertainment. And sometimes I hit, sometimes I don't. It's no big deal. But good luck this Saturday, folks. I'll talk to y'all later.